Hey, hey, what's going on? Thank you for joining me today as I start my day with fruit. If you're new here, I always tell my people to start your day with fruit. All right. Now, the interesting part is it is now 5:33 p.m. 5:33 p.m. So, how many of you believe that you should eat breakfast at a certain time, or lunch at a certain time, dinner at a certain time, snacks in between? All right. Hopefully, wait a minute. Make sure you guys can hear me. My volume is up. Yeah, hold on one second. I need a napkin or a paper towel. Because, yeah, I might do that again. I don't know. But anyway, it's 5:30 p.m. and this is my first meal of the day. And why? Because I wasn't hungry. So that's step number one is you might, if you're an overeater or you want to do more controlled eating, you might want to actually stop and ask yourself, are you even hungry? Hmm, that's good. Have you ever eaten and you weren't hungry? We all have. I have plenty of times. Plenty of times. Because guess what? They say in research, we don't reach true hunger until day 38 to 42. This is so tart. But yeah, so I have fasted, mm, I think 6 times now. Um, the longest I've ever fasted was 25 days, I think. But yeah, not now. So anyway, many people that listen to me, you don't necessarily have a food problem. You probably have a pattern problem. And a lot of times we get ourselves stuck in patterns is because someone else told us what to eat. What's happening, Chad? They told us what to eat. They tell us to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between. And that's that pattern that we've been stuck in. With me myself, I played college basketball and I would play the 4 or the 5 position. And if you don't know about basketball, usually that's the taller positions on the court. And because I'm only 5'12", haha, not super tall for college level basketball division 1. And so I can't really grow anymore. I'm not really growing anymore. But my coach, they wanted me to beef up some more, right? And so how do you beef up? Beef up? Of course, the weight room, but also with food. And so my coaches and my trainers, they got me on this food program to where for breakfast I was eating a whole meal, which was 3 pancakes or waffles, depending on what the cafeteria had, 3 scrambled eggs, 3 pieces of bacon or sausage, a bowl of grits, and then you gotta wash it all down with something, right? In addition to that meal, I also had to consume two, not one, but two slim fast. Yes, slim fast, right? Slim fast. So, one, that just shows you the power of food marketing. Because some people are drinking Slim Fast. I don't even know if they're still on the shelves these days. But anyway, Slim Fast, there's nothing magical in that can of that product because it's meant to be a meal replacement. And so when I was having one meal of my pancakes and eggs and all that kind of stuff, and 2 cans of Slim Fast, I was basically eating 3 meals in one sitting. And guess what? It worked. Hmm. You know what? I'm not even sure, Chad, what that is. Obstetric exam? I'm sorry. That's not my field. Can you tell me what that is? Um, but yeah, so I was groomed for 5 years because I played 5 years. I got hurt my third year. But yeah, but I was groomed and having these eating patterns for 5 years to overeat so I can maintain bigness and thickness and all that kind of stuff. Well, what happens when I graduate? Do you think those patterns, those food patterns, just magically went away? No. I've been practicing overeating for 5 years. And so when I stopped playing, I had no desire to play in the WNBA. So when I stopped playing, I still kept those eating patterns. And I couldn't figure out why I couldn't stop. I was like, I don't need to eat like this anymore. I'm not playing basketball anymore, but I'm overeating still. How can I stop? And for 20 years, I was trying to figure it out by myself. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it just wouldn't happen just because I want to say I want to stop eating. That doesn't work. How many of you guys try to say, I'm not going to eat anymore. I'm going to throw out the sugar. I'm going to throw out the cookies, the chips, and the pies. Oh my. That doesn't work, right? You have to actually start training here. So when I got to a point to where I was fed up, which happens to be the name of my program, it was about almost 10 years ago. And I was Googling and searching, and I was like, why am I like this? What is wrong with me? Why can't I stop? It eventually led me into the psychology of eating. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. This will tell me why. And then not only just why, but how do I interrupt patterns? So can you guys give me some ideas on how you interrupt some things that you don't want to think about, you don't want to move in a certain direction? What are some things that you guys know on what's worked for you? Let's see if I have some of my regular listeners here that can tell me. Oh, wow. Okay. You said you burned your finger, but obstetrics exam about pregnancy and labor and all that stuff is hard. Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. That is still not my area. I really, like I said, I focus on the psychology of eating. And so I can help you and baby be healthy. Wait, I'm serious. About pregnancy. So you're not necessarily pregnant. You're helping other mothers, I'm assuming, with their pregnancy and labor. Am I right? Oh, I'm sorry. And the burned finger thing, that was another person. Hello, Lucy? I'm not sure. But yeah, so keep talking to me and I'll come back and forth to your comments though. But yeah, I don't have any idea about the whole delivery thing. But anyway, we have habits that we've built into our thinking tank. And so just because we say we want to stop doing something, that doesn't mean you're going to stop. Has that worked for any of you guys? Has anybody ever gone through a relationship and it was very hurtful and you're like, oh, I want to stop loving this person? It doesn't happen that way. You have to train yourself to no longer desire this person, just like food. You can get to a space to where you no longer desire those things that you know are hurting you. I used to love Hershey bars with the almonds in them and Snickers. But now I know those foods they don't serve me in any kind of way. I had to get them out of my system, literally and physically and mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all of that stuff. What are some ways that what are some ways that you guys can get some of your favorite foods out of your system? Good luck on your exam, Chad. I do wish you all the best. And then when you get to a place to where things are settled in, you pass it and you're helping people, send your clients my way. I would love to help them with their their food habits. But let's start with you. What are some of your bad food habits? Well, one thing that I can help you guys with is to pause. Pause, what a pleasure. Okay? So many times we ask for things, which, by the way, I'm celebrating 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for hitting that button. If you're here and you're not subscribed yet, please click that button so I can bring you guys more free information to help you around your health and wellness, especially around food. Okay? So hit that subscribe button, please. So anyway, what was I about to say? I don't know. I can't remember. Chad, what was I talking about? I was going somewhere specific. Tell me some of you guys' food habits that you want to break up with. Is it cakes, cookies, pies? Oh my. They tell you a story for sure. They tell you a story about what's really going on, because a lot of the foods that have commercials back behind them, there's billions of dollars that is put into making you desire those foods and salivate over those foods. When's the last time you saw a commercial for mango? Never. When's the last time you saw a commercial for blueberries? Never. Now, more people like myself that'll continue talking about those things, guess what? They'll probably start incorporating them into commercials just to say, hey, yeah, we advertise and advocate for fruit. But anyway, it's not in commercials, because this keeps you healthy. So I beg you again to start your day with fruit. If you're just coming in, hello, I appreciate you. Hit that click subscribe button, because I'm celebrating today as 4,000 subscribers that I've reached today. Appreciate you. I had something very specific to talk. Oh, why I have a coach. I just got a business coach probably 2 weeks ago, and she has helped me just excel, just go way further in a short period of time than I thought I ever would, or I ever could by myself. Okay? What I do for a living now is help you with your habits. The psychology of eating is that's what I focus on, and I've been doing it for 10 years. But to go from learning what to do and teach and knowing how to teach you guys, it's a whole different discipline that you got to learn when you're a business owner and you want to reach more people so you can help them learn what you know and learn what have I taught myself, right? Whole different business, right? So just because like a person like myself, we know a lot about the psychology of eating, that doesn't mean like I know how to reach you and help you learn about the psychology of eating. Now, once you get to me, it's good, it's fine. But reaching you is the part of why I had to get a coach to help me reach you. I say all this to say is we all need coaches. We all need coaches. I specialize in what I specialize in because I'm good at it. But as far as helping or getting to the space to where I'm reaching you and thousands of people at the same time, I needed a coach for that. So if you have struggled with your food habits for a long time, and if what you're doing is not working, that's not a you problem. It is the system that you've been using and have been taught is the problem, not you. So I do want you to finally get to a space to where you're like, you know what? I can't do this on my own, and get to a space to where you're investing in yourself. Just like I'm investing in myself, spending my hard-earned cash and savings, actually, being transparent with you guys, and spending on investing, it's still investing in me, because obviously the more people I reach, it's going to make me happier. and reaching more people and helping more people with their food habits. And it's going to, again, excel my business. So, what is it around food that you guys struggle with? Sweets. Sweets is what I get all the time. A lot of people struggle with sweets. You know why? Because they put sugar in everything. Everything. Even the things that are not sweet. Even the things that are like, not the obvious things, but like the pasta sauce, I don't know, I'm looking around in my kitchen because I'm trying to figure out some things that make me think, but everything that is not sweet, they know just the right amount of sugar to put in that product to make you chemically desire wanting more. Okay? So it's not a you problem that you have when you're trying to break away from your sugar cravings. It is more of what's in that food that keeps you craving and wanting more. Just like the food marketing, when they say you bet you can't have just one, that is very strategic and very genius, to be honest with you. It's evil and genius at the same time. Because guess what? That food is chemically engineered to make you want just one more, and one more. Okay? So you trying to break that cycle by yourself, it's probably not going to happen unless you spend a lot of time and a lot of years into figuring it out, like I have. I spent 10 years in school figuring this out. 10 years learning how to do this. And I didn't want to spend another 10 years on figuring out how I can reach more people like you to help me reach you so you can, be involved in my program. Which, by the way, click on the link in the profile and it'll send you to my free Skool, because there's so many things I can't talk about here without getting shadow banned. But I can talk about what I really, really, really want you to know inside my Skool, my private Skool community. Okay? But trying to do this on your own, not a good idea. I started my business in 2022. Dang, that was 4 years ago. Coming on 5 this fall. Time goes by fast. Time is not waiting for anybody. But trying to figure it out on your own, and especially if you're over the age of 35, I'm going to say, and you keep going back and forth, you lose the weight and then you gain it right back. You're happy one moment and you're sad the next. Those are things that you need professional assistance with, okay? With my program, I actually don't even start with talking about food. That's one of the last things we talk about. Because guess what? A lot of our food choices are influenced by what's going on all around us. It's more of the stress, the long day that you've had from work, your boss that just aggravates the heck out of you, the dog that keeps barking in my building. Those are the things that stress us out, and then they influence us to reach toward foods, and it's usually the foods that don't serve us. You guys realize that? So that's when you take a pause and be like, okay, it's not really the chips that I want. It's just because they're quick and easy and crunchy, but it's really not going to resolve this constant barking dog that I have all the time. What's going to really resolve that issue is if I go talk to the owner or talk to the manager of the building or some other stuff. But eating a bag of chips is not going to really solve it, So we got to get to a space to where we're thinking about the actual issue and not leaning on food all the time to temporarily solve the issue. Okay? This is all the sweetness that you need. A lot of people that have sugar cravings, this is typically not the sugar that you crave until you get to a point to where you're retraining your brain to where you're craving this now. I was in the same place to where I craved junk food all the time. Cupcakes, candy bars, all of that. But now I crave fruit. So I hope you don't just again think that it's a you problem and you keep blaming yourself for certain things like why can't I be that way, da da da. Stop doing that first of all, because that's part of the identity that you're building. And when I talk about identity, I don't mean the information that's on your driver's license. That stuff does not matter right now. I'm talking about the stuff of who you call yourself. Are you calling yourself, I'm the snacker, I'm the big one, I'm the one that always X, Y, and Z, something negative? That's identity, actually. And so if what you're saying leads to what you're thinking all the time, and it's not the outcome that you want, you got to stop saying it. And you got to stop thinking it. Replace those thoughts with something of an outcome of what you actually do want. So if you want to be, let's just say you want to lose 20 pounds. It's not about saying, I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to lose 20 pounds. That's not about repeating that thing every day. Write it down as a goal in your journal, whatever, cool, put it to the side. Now, what does a person who is 20 pounds lighter, how do they move? How do they think? That's who you become, okay? So I could easily say, all right, with a person that is, say it was you're 200 pounds and you want to get to 180. I can easily say, like some coach that don't know what they're talking about, they'll say, well, does a person that's 180 pounds, would they eat these bag of cookies? No, they wouldn't, so stop doing that. That's willpower talk. That is motivational. Well, it's not even motivational because it actually will piss probably a lot of people off, okay? What I do differently is that I have you think about why you may want that particular product at that particular time. Because the thing is this, those kind of foods is rarely about the food itself. It's about what it represents. Is it a particular time in your life where you had this particular food? Is it you're missing a connection from somebody? Is it, I don't know, like again, someone that's no longer here? That's what the food represents. It's not the food itself, because that hunger is not really real. Our bodies don't genuinely want Oreo cookies or whatever that, these colorful snacks or whatever. Our bodies don't really want that. We think we do because that's how we've trained ourselves to reach for those foods at a particular time. Let me give you an example. If you've had a caregiver or your mom that whenever you fell down and hurt yourself, and she gave you a cookie so you could stop crying, what do you think that's going to do to you when you get older? Especially if that caregiver or your mother is no longer here on earth. It's going to teach you to reach for that same brand of cookies or type of cookies every time that someone disappoints you in life. Every time that your boss gets on your nerves. Every time that your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend gets on your nerves. And it makes you want to cry. Every time you get manipulated in a situation, someone steals from you. You've been trained your whole entire life to reach for that cookie when a hurtful situation happens. So you got to interrupt the pattern. If not, you're going to keep doing it over and over and wondering what's wrong with you. Okay, so somebody's asked me a question. I need to start eating healthy, but I really only like fruits. That's good. Let me make sure I read that right. I need to start eating healthy, but I really only like fruit. What's the problem? And then they said I got seaweed every month, and I was wondering if it's good for my diet. Okay, so Here's where I differ as far as like telling people a specific food is good for them or not good for them. Okay. The reason why I say that is because we're not copy and paste bodies. So what's good for me may not be good for you. What's good for you may not be good for the next person. The reason why is because of pretty much everything. The way that we are raised, how we've treated our gut, our whole entire system is not all the same. So watermelon makes me bloat like crazy. And I hate that because watermelon is so good. It's so refreshing, especially when you get the right one. And the fact that it's 96% water, I'm like, what the heck does my body not like about watermelon? So I can't tell you what's good for you. And I hope that makes sense. What I can help you with is that you can either get a food sensitivity test like I have. That's what made me get to a space to where I now offer it to my clients, is because I was like, what does my body not like? What does my body not agree with, right? So that would tell you. It's on my website. It's called a food sensitivity test. And the analysis is a hair analysis, okay? So obviously it doesn't have to come from the hair on your head, which I purposely shave my head. I don't have, excuse me. There are no issues on why I have no hair. I physically shave my hair almost every week or multiple times a week sometimes. Anyway, but it is a hair analysis by any hair on your body except the pubic area. They no longer like to test for that because some people are kind of gross, and I get it. But it can be the hair on your toes if you want it to be. So just look at drdenisithinks.com, and then you can get the food sensitivity test. It's only $129, and it comes with an hour-long consultation with myself. So we can talk about your results, but we can also talk about some things that are specific for you. Okay. If you want to take it a step further, my partner, who is a master herbalist, he offers a genetic test where he does a swab in your mouth, and he can pull up so many different foods that you may be allergic to, may be toxic for you. It will tell you all kinds of results. That test, I want to say, it's expensive. It's going to be at least $1,000. I already know. I can't remember exactly how much it is, but I think it's at least $1,000 for that. But it will save you time as far as like trying to figure things out. Because again, I thoroughly believe in investing in yourself. When I was in school getting my PhD, I was making less than $1,500 a month. And for the 7.5 years that I was in school, I became the person who no longer got fast food or cheap meals, because I knew that those meals would not serve me. They would not serve me long term. So that's when I became plant-based and was like, you know what? These foods are actually cheaper or just the same cost just as any other fast food place. So myth number one, eating healthy is not expensive. And like I said, I made $1,500 a month, and I did not go hungry at all. I always had food. I was always full, and it was fine. Okay. So now I graduated a year ago this month, last year. And I do my budget now. I'm very meticulous on my budget. I spend about $450 a month on food. And again, still full, not starving for anything, which is a blessing. Okay, do you guys have any idea how much you're spending on food? But I will say seaweed generally is great for you, great for most people. And let me tell you a little bit more about that, because there's so many people with thyroid issues. And if you have a thyroid issue, that will really mess you up, okay? Because I'm a big advocate for sea moss. And people with thyroid issues and a couple other things, they should not take sea moss, okay? So that's why I'm not in the business of telling people, eat this, don't eat that. There's no such thing as that, okay? but I get seaweed every month, and I was wondering if it's good for my diet. So yeah, you gotta figure out. I gotta know your insides to know if that's good for you or not. Okay, and until you get tested, I won't know that. Great question though. Great question. All right, man. It's already 6 o'clock. You guys, I'm gonna jump off here. If anybody has any other health questions, let me know. But I am coming back tonight at 7:30 Central, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about something very specific, something that's really gonna help you. I just wanted to get on here and talk to you while I ate my fruit, because I enjoy you guys. And again, I'm so happy that you guys helped me get to 4,000 subscribers. If you're listening now and you don't, can y'all hear that? Now, normally, 10 years ago, that would have sent me like going crazy. But now, because I meditate and I do my alkalizing breaths, it is what it is. But anyway, come back tonight, 7:30 Central, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and I'm going to talk to you guys about something very, very specific that will help you with your food habits. Because again, I don't try to focus on eat this, don't eat that. I focus on helping you eat or reduce the cravings on the food that you know don't love you. Okay, that's what I do. We gotta focus on that. All right. There's so many people that are struggling with loving foods that don't love them back. All right. So if you want some more tips on that, join me tonight very soon, and I'll help you. And I'll see you guys again soon. All right. Appreciate ya. Holla.